You know the part of the song, everybody sings along. Well, that's us, listen up, shout it out, I'm talking all night. The end is nowhere in sight. From the streets to the tracks, here's to never looking back, cause the past doesn't last. Long as we're together, just keeps getting better, just keeps getting better.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Bears going up against the Broncos. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the picturesque city of Denver, Colorado. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and 10 here. Freeman again. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. He's got time. Great protection. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
They have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here we go. Green 39. Green.
On second down, here's Osweiler. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They'll run here with Freeman. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Osweiler on second down. This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Let's go. 3-19.
On third and goal, Osweiler in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Roughing the passer, that's shades of Charles Davis back in his playing days.
Oh, I sure wish it had been, Brandon. Back in my day, I didn't hit anyone hard enough to rough the passer. I had a number of teammates that handled that for me.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
Now it's Osweiler. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Well, they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a third and goal.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Osweiler. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they get the field goal, but partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. And now, Charles, what do? You want to create some space here for your punter if you have to punt.
I think maybe you just go quarterback sneak and try and create that space and hope your punter can help you out.
Osweiler from his end zone on 3rd and long. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
To throw is Osweiler. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll come out in the pistol.
Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. He's got time in the pocket. Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
No, check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Chicago 1st down. And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground.
Love the run right there. And when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. It's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked it. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his left. And some room to work. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Holding offense.
Yeah, that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They'll set up to throw. Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It's caught inside the 25.
Holding defense.
And with the big gain, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll cut it to the left. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Bears will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing, Osweiler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On second down, Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
From the gun on third down, Osweiler surveying the field. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. Now, because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is fielded at the 27. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. It's his first career game, and now he has thrown his first career interception.
So let's face it, that's very simply his welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it?
Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way, and he hopes it'll be the last for this game and not too many in his career.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
10 yards still left on second down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. 2nd and 10 now. Osweiler. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the gun, it's Osweiler. Finding time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst-case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Osweiler. And that is incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Take it at the 37.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic 1st down.
Here we go. Green, Detroit!
Back to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our 1st half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. And they were able to halt them last time on fourth down. Was a great stand. They'll be looking for another stand here.
To be able to stand up against someone trying to go for it on fourth down, because obviously they went for it because they thought that they could get it, that they thought they had the right play call. Didn't happen. They're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves going forward and flexing the rest of this game.
And the offense will be trying to prevent that flex on this drive. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 30 yards. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They go play action here on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw again is Osweiler. And he's got his man on the out route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Preston Smith able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. 3rd and long. It's Osweiler. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
He bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point.
Hey, Charles, you give me a water. Jeez, Chuck. They cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bears will add on to their lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on. And as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Osweiler on second down. Going right side here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. They find some open field here. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. And they bottle him up again because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They go play action with Osweiler. He's got time. Trying to lay one up. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing, Osweiler, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, Osweiler into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First interception he's thrown on the season. New town, new receivers, still probably trying to get in sync with everyone.
And you just know that he's not going to say, hey, I'm just getting started with these guys. We're still working on it. But there definitely is an element to it. I don't care how many OTAs, how many mini camps, preseason. There's nothing like game speed. They're still working up to it. And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And, Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. Looking to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Going up top. He's got a man. Complete. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Their dangerous wide receiver making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Bears will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
5 yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. They run from the pistol here with Freeman. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right, the sync just wasn't there.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taken right around the 44. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball.
Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
So the D-line's going to spread out. To throw again is Osweiler. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. On 3rd and 1, Osweiler. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
It went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, Osweiler. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Osweiler will throw again. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down. This big in the fourth
you'd
quarter.
say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting through. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, hit up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Hurry up, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
The offense is in total control right now, and while they don't want to be in anything close to a hurry-up, they want to make sure they do things with discipline now. Get to the line of scrimmage, line up correctly, take time off the clock, snap the ball late in the play clock, and run the game out.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And an alley to run. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's at least.
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now Osweiler. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Throwing, Osweiler. He's got time in the pocket. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
91 is the mic.
Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's time right there. Let's go. Gun.
Again, Osweiler surveying the field. All kinds of time. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
On 3rd down, Osweiler. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Osweiler. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 1 last shot for Osweiler. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Chicago, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.